What's that saying again? Is it just like that? We back again, or something like that, or LT's back again?
Hey,
Back like I never left.
Back like he's not left. Ladies and gentlemen, it's another great episode of Who's Fighting, episode 63. We are pushing those numbers up, flooding the algorithm, feeding the machine. Fellas, how have you been?
Been great, man. Been great. Coming off a great weekend of boxing. Coming up on what should be another great weekend of boxing. This should be bookend great weekends of boxing.
Boxing.
yeah,
Combat sports.
Combat.
right.
Kam Gee.
Oh man,
Ilya.
loving life, man. Got to watch a lot of boxing this weekend. I got to open up a physical copy of a book and read a substantial amount of it, and yeah, that felt really good. Haven't done that in a while, so got my two things I love: boxing and books.
Books. Do you mind sharing with the audience what book you're reading, or is that personal?
Nah, it's the title is called Bloods.
Yeah.
The author is escaping me. It's a compilation of Black Vietnam veterans war stories. This is source material for the movie Dead Presidents that came out in 1995. So went into a whole watched Dead Presidents, one of my favorite movies of all time. But as I watch it as an older man or as a growing man, it gets depressing. My wife was like, "Why are you watching that movie again?" Because I love it. Anyway, go to a YouTube dive, figure out that there's a book that they pulled this material from, and as soon as I get out of the show tonight, I'm gonna pick up the book and go through some more of it. So yeah, that's what I'm on right now.
That's good to hear. As you guys said, we had a week leading on to weekend of action-packed boxing bouts. We moved from Brooklyn to Queens. I don't know. One of them was in Brooklyn, one of them was in Queens.
Mm-hmm.
But nevertheless, we did have a monumental, classical moment that happened on Friday where we had an all-women's bout or card. And to say the least, I was very, very impressed from how the event was run, from how they sequenced each fight after each fight. I think they broke the Guinness World Record for how many belts were at stake on one card. I think the MVP Promotions did get an MVP. Did get a Guinness World Book of Record plaque for just that particular card. Fellas, before we dive into the particulars of Friday, June 11th, let's talk about this moment that we all witnessed on Friday.
I couldn't even get a nap, because the prelims were so good.
Yeah, and they were early. They kind of crept up on us on a Friday afternoon. You turn on YouTube and you're getting this suggestion for the undercard for the fight, which was very very entertaining.
Yeah,
it's like, oh wow, we starting off early on a Friday.
And the good thing is Netflix fixed their little tech issues.
Yes,
there was no lagging or the stream breaking. So fire. I like that.
That was good.
I did see some of the numbers that came up, but we could talk about that. I think in conclusion, should we talk about it right now in conclusion? How the ladies did that in-house, in person, and over the stream site so far.
Let's hear it. Yeah, let's hear it.
So I heard in person they had about 21 and some change. Remind me, what would they fight? They were not doing Madison Square Gardens. I see the venue here.
I do believe, wasn't it in Madison Square Garden?
Could have, yeah, possible. That's right.
I think Madison Square Garden. Yeah. Had the other event was
in Queens. So yeah, so 20,000 people in attendance. That is fire. You know,
Yep.
that's more than some New York Knicks. Well, New York Knicks sells their basketball games, but there's some markets where they used to heard that. I mean, I don't want to say I heard, but I know at one time the Clippers used to pay people or give people discounts to buy tickets when they were not good back in the early 2000s. So they filled it. They had 21,000 in present, and looking at what they did, and I'm trying to look at the numbers here over the stream. So give me a second. Over the streams, they're said to have done 6 million views, 6 million in viewership. And I stand corrected. In attendance, it was 19,721. It wasn't 21,000. So, but by a few, I was wrong by a little bit. By the streams, they had 6 million viewers watching this fight, and then by the gate at MSG made 2,060,000, $2.663 million US dollars. I'm struggling right now. While I say that, I'm trying to compute that, and I don't have anything to judge it off or base it or compare. But to me, those numbers look solid.
Yeah. Come on now, you bringing them M's at the gate in New York. Yeah, that's going to pique some interest, and I'm sure there'll be partnerships and further endeavors dealing with these ladies in various formats down the line. And it was, man, I like the way the ring is set up. The presentation was really cool. I really like how the LED on the, like when they have the overhead shot, you can see the round decals on the side of the ring, and it's just it's very, gives me very much of a video game feel. They're presented well. I enjoyed having Layla Ali, as a correspondent for the evening. The whole thing was just dope. Now the fights, I know we're going to get into the fights, but as far as the entire production, it was a hit. And I'm looking forward to many more events, man. These ladies can fight, and we enjoyed it.
And they did a good job of educating the audience too. You got a lot of casuals, but they did bring Layla into the fold and just gave a coal miner's daughter and just everybody that led up to this moment. So they did a good job of honoring those legacies.
Yeah. I did on Saturday. I did see Carissa in attendance. Did she attend Friday too?
She made it to both events. She was in New York. She made it a weekend in New York.
That's nice.
There was some talk that they weren't going to give her a complimentary ticket, but she found herself not too far from ringside. So just out of eye shot of the camera. As I'm watching, I catch a guy with a fitted, and I'm like, okay, that looks like Papoose. And so I go to her IG, and so she's live, sharing on her story that she's respect to that. We'll get to the other card later.
Yeah, and to me, that's what I wanted to see. I think her presence had to be felt in this monumental, because it's not Katie Taylor Serrano, it's all of women's boxing that won that day. So I wish, because she's such a cornerstone, she's such an important block, an important structure, foundation to women's boxing, that it'll be a stolen moment if she was not there. Not to be acknowledged, but to feel her energy in that space. That's energy right there. All those 19,000 and some change people in attendance. So it's good to hear that she made it to the Friday card. Leading to the actual card, we already talked about the moment. The marquee athletes of the moment were Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. This was them fighting each other. Another 30 rounds. A total 30 rounds, another 10 rounds. Fellas, did this meet the expectation? Is this a good conclusion to a war story, or do we need a fourth one?
Yo, shout out to everybody that's watching, tuning in live right now. Hit the like, comment, share, subscribe, all those good things. I think this is the end of it, no matter what. You know, we can't be greedy. They gave us a lot of themselves in those first two fights. The adjustments that I thought were going to be made those were the game plans. I thought that Serrano was going to be more cautious this time around, and she was. But I think it's a lot of the same story. And I said it not last week, but the week before, accuracy versus activity. And it's going to be in the eyesight of what the judges value.
Yeah. I really feel like Serrano was a bit gun shy. Could really see that those clash of heads were affecting her psyche a little bit, like that tenacity we're used to seeing. And I mean, boxing is tough. She's had over 50 fights. So at some point you see I feel like we saw a little bit of that in that fight, because it didn't seem to be that aggression. The energy was a lot different in the fight. And from Katie Taylor as well. She just boxed wonderfully. She pot shot her, she moved her feet, she moved her head, she countered. She gave varied attacks, and you know, it was one of those fights where it was quote unquote boring, but I saw the boxing acumen of Katie Taylor, you know, just edging Serrano out each round. In my opinion, those close rounds I was giving to Katie Taylor. So it doesn't need to be seen again. They gave us plenty. They gave us multiple memorable moments, and thankful for those ladies, you know, putting it out there one more time. But we're not going to see it again. It's not necessary.
Not necessary. Yeah, I agree. I agree with both what you said, LT and Kam Gee. I think, Amanda, there was need for a switch up, because it's the third time you're fighting this person. They know you, but I think she over corrected. That made the fight not necessarily look like the Serrano that I know, you know, who's, like you said, she's tenacious, she goes for it. She has one style, and yes, we could use her activity, or, you know, as one of the things that looked like she was, you know, it could confuse the scorecards a little bit. But yeah, Katie Taylor was the more accurate, more intentional puncher, more setup puncher, while Serrano was looking like she was holding back but moving forward. I don't know if that makes any sense. She looks active, but she's really not doing anything, because I don't say she's saving, you know, getting hit. It was so weird for me to see her in that type of setting, or in that type of dance, because I really expected this to be the fireworks that just ended the trilogy. But it was one of those that was a cliffhanger if you're watching a TV show, when you're like, well, there has to be a fourth one. But really and truly, I think those ladies fair enough to say, I think one of them sounded like they don't want to even fight each other. Like Katie Taylor was like, I fought Amanda Serrano so much, she hits hard or whatever. I don't want to fight her again or something.
Yeah.
Even in the lead up, Serrano was like, let's retire at separate years so we don't have to go into the Hall of Fame at the same time.
Damn.
They're tired of facing each other. Like we talked about it last show.
I'm just
like
tired of you.
The Peter Griffin and the chicken. Like,
and you know, I honestly wouldn't have been surprised if I seen a draw.
Yeah. Yeah, that activity could easily have.
But didn't the
scorecard?
Didn't the CompuBox stats have them coming out even? Basically, if I'm not mistaken.
And pull it. I just didn't. I didn't think it was her aggression was effective. I never felt like Katie Taylor was in trouble in this fight. But as we're looking up that CompuBox stats, What was interesting in the lead up to the fight was the Andre Ward content that was put out. And one thing where Andre Ward was speaking or giving his breakdown of the first two fights. And one thing he said about the second fight was that in one corner, which was Serrano's, it was a lot of rah-rah pep talk. But in Katie Taylor's, it was X's and O's. And I thought, to me, I'm like, Katie Taylor about to win this fight. Because that goes such a long way when you're at a high level sport. We need to break down this high level fighter, and we need strategy. We don't need, you got this. You don't need to hear she's getting tired. Like, why are you telling your fighter they're getting tired? Like,
right.
It's just, I don't know. It was one of those things I thought was very glaring when it came to like what was going on in each corner. And here
the CompuBox stats. They landed both the same total of landed punches, but the distance what creates the separation here are the total thrown, right? Amanda Serrano threw 382. Katie Taylor only threw 231. But the accuracy of Katie Taylor's clip was at 30.3. Amanda Serrano was 18.3. That's not accurate enough. What made Amanda look aggressive was her landing of her jab. So she was moving forward, jabbing, not too much of her two. It was a lot of her one. So she had 21 landed jabs compared to Katie Taylor, who was replying with combinations that didn't include a jab, she had only like 13 jabs. So it could be deceiving. Yes, they threw the same amount of punches, but like one was like somebody said, I think it was Kam Gee, LT, was it you that said the precision of the precision of Katie Taylor kind of picked her apart, even though one looked like they were stepping forward, but they were really not threatening Katie Taylor, because she was kind of like, cooling that all off with good combinational responses with that jab. And that's the thing. It was just a jab and not too many follow throughs. It was more like a 1 and a 2. I didn't see other combinations to kind of rattle Katie Taylor. But nevertheless, I thought it was still a competitive fight. And it was a very strategic. I don't think the casuals liked it as much. It was a strategic game of chess. One person was like, well, last time I stepped on the gas and I lost. Have to taper or pull it back. But then Katie Taylor is like, well, Amanda Serrano is a pit bull. I have to work on, counter punching in my back foot and responding on my back foot. So I don't know. I think it was a great competition.
And it's what do the judges value? So even in the last fight, I'm in a room full of people and I'm trying to tell them, like, it's going to be hard for the judges to look at Serrano's face and give her a decision.
They're like, nah.
Yeah.
Nah. You lost.
That
matters. That matters.
Yeah. As the night was laid out, that was the crowning moment. But let's talk about some other moments that made the night magical. We have to talk about Michigan's own Alicia Baumgartner.
Is she? Hold on.
I believe she's from Michigan, or maybe she just works
born in Ohio.
Born in Ohio, okay.
So she relocated to Michigan. Now she trains in Dallas.
Yeah. Okay. Ohio's very own Alicia Baumgartner fought a Jennifer Miranda. I'll tell you again, I apologize. Last show, I was kind of ishing on Jennifer Miranda. I didn't know about your game. I'm sorry. I was like, who is this French, whatever, where are you from? Spanish?
Spanish.
So listen. I'm not because she taught me. I won't lie to you. I was really, really impressed with her. But I'll let you guys lead this one on.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a lot off because I got some making up to do for being absent. This was very frustrating for me to watch.
Oh man.
I actually went and did my homework, and it seemed like that Miranda's torso was going to be available all night long for Baumgartner. the height discrepancy wasn't what I anticipated. But with that said, this is a fight where you let a lesser opponent hang around and they start to gain confidence. And I'm sitting here telling them this is a majority Latino crowd waiting for the main event. And you give them a reason to cheer for the underdog.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, Miranda started getting off, and I'm like, Now, another point. All these fighters going, what's my brother name? Derrick James? All these fighters going and hiring Derrick James. Can y'all please start listening to the corner instructions?
Yes.
I was sitting here watching. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, she is not doing what Derrick James would coach his athletes to do. You know? I'm sitting here like, go ahead, man, take over.
Oh man, it was killing me. But as I pulled away from the fight, I had the question of like, are they working on these things in camp? Is it that we're getting to the fight and asking things that we've never done? But then you go back to it again and watch the fight. There wasn't even an attempt to do what he asked either way, right? So even if you didn't work on it in camp, it's fight day. We got to make an adjustment right now. We haven't thrown to the body all camp, but damn it, throw to the body. And you go out there, you don't see it at all. Like,
we know, but we know he wants his fighters to work the jab.
Yeah.
And look, and he's like, listen, you don't have to land clean. Even if you land it on her arm, start throwing it somewhere.
I heard in this fight, someone said, turn the jab into a hook. And she threw it and it landed. And I'm like, oh man, it was very frustrating. But we have to couple considerations is coming off a long layoff. First fight with a new coach. But what was concerning was the level of opponent, regardless of a layoff, and the inability to put combinations together, and then also getting hit cleanly by this opponent.
Yeah.
Now she, after the fight, was talking about Katie Taylor, or I don't know if it's IG or Twitter, wherever I saw this. But I'm like, we might need to pull back. We might need to regroup a little bit, because Katie Taylor showed a lot of boxing proficiency. And the thing that I think that's frustrating to me and LT and Bumgarner fans is that we see that she has the physical capabilities to do anything in the ring, and we don't see the use of the head movement, getting clean punches. The punch variation, she's clearly trying to load up on her right hand. And it looks to be a bit stiff and robotic in the ring. And when she was with Tony Harrison, it was similar. She had a little bit more of a combination punching style, but you still saw the head movement issue, getting hit cleanly by women that don't have that power. When you go against somebody that has that power or that accuracy, that's going to be a long night.
Yeah.
So it was just frustrating because we expect more, right? We knew she was going to win. We expect more.
And then building on what you said about loading up, I think he got to a point where her opponent was like, okay, I took your best shot.
Yes.
And now we here.
Yep. Yes.
Yes. You know, when LTU's talked about David James, and I had that day, like that old moment when we talked, that I had a recollection of the old time where the older show where we talked about Ryan Garcia after he had got shook up a little bit versus Rolly, and David James was telling him, hey, do this, do that, and he was just not doing it. Do you think these, because again, this is a very from this, what I'm about to say, I have no information about. It looks like from social media that these people are working with David James leading up to the fight without enough time for David James to understand the psyche of the fighter. that he's giving these instructions, because you can't be a good navigator, which is a coach, when you don't know your fighter. And I don't know how long. Maybe you guys could educate me. How long has he been working with Alicia? Or I know Ryan, it was last minute. I saw them on IG. The next thing I know, he's Ryan Garcia's, coach for the Rolly fight.
To me, though, it just doesn't seem that difficult to say go back to the basics. Like, I know he's a fundamental guy. I know he's saying day one.
You jab. You jab. Hit him. He's telling him, hit him in the arm. Hit him. You need to touch her. Like, he was telling Bongard, like, touch him. Like, get into a rhythm. What I know he's trying to say is touch them so you can get into a rhythm and you can flow from there. But it has to come from your fundamentals. You have to throw your jab first
and find your range. Like,
and do that. I'm not going.
All that comes.
He's not going to overcoach. Throw the 2-3-2 and then stab him to the body. He'll say, touch, get the jab going, touch him, and then try to find a body in there. He's very consistent in the messaging, and that is a message that a lot of coaches send to their fighters.
Yeah.
So you would imagine that he's working on it in camp. Yeah. It was frustrating because, we want to see Derrick James win, but I also want to see his fighters listen to him because he's getting a bad rap. And then going to him with the Rolly fight, I don't know if they really were in camp for that fight, but for the Haney fight, I do believe they were in camp. So you see, I don't know.
Yeah, because it kind of sets a precedence, or it sets a tone that I don't trust this guy. And if two people are doing that, then it's kind of like, nah, you gave me some advice when we were walking in, and now I have egg on my, it could set a tone, or it could it could show something to the viewer that if you're not listening to if two people are not listening to the coach, now the whole thing, the inmates are taking over, or like, like when you have that one coach, we've all been on a team where we kind of huddle up as a team. We're like, man, screw this coach play. Man, screw this coach play right here. Like, we gonna do this because, man, that last time he made us run this play. We got stuck. Let's run this, and then coach is gonna get mad, but he's like, all right, you guys still scored, right? Because it looks like that. I've been on teams. I know this. Like, it looks like that. It looks like one guy's like, "Nah, I'm not listening to you." But that's just small little things that I just don't know.
We have the proof though. Like, if we look back at his long-term clients, like the Errol Spences and the Charlos, what's their calling card? The one Charlo, it's said that the one Charlo that just came back had the best jab in all of fighting, right? But you bring up a good point, because now look at this. Okay, Ryan Garcia coming on later in his career, it kind of reminds you of Freddie Roach taking on Blair the Flair. You know what I'm saying? And no matter how great you are, like,
right. Boxing is one of those sports the coach gets a lot of the credit or the blame, along with the fighter, when it comes to like what are these outcomes. So the Twitter threads and with Derrick James comments was pretty funny fight night. I'm not gonna lie. Watching those come through, it was like, man, just listen to them. Just try it out one time. Just see what happens. See what happens. Like, it might work. It might work.
Moving on to an interesting but controversial fight that night. We're going to talk about Shanika Jones versus Sharetta Metcalf. It was a Shanika Jones. She goes by, I think, Neeks or whatever. I just learned that on Instagram.
Sugar Neeks.
Sugar Neeks. She's Australian. She defeated Metcalf in the 9th round by TKO. I want to hear from Kam, because you do know Sharetta Metcalf. You've been in close proximity with her. Actually, we would love to have her on our show. How is how was your viewage of this? How was your what did you see during this particular fight?
First of all, the stoppage was awful.
Yeah.
It was awful. And I felt really bad for Chicken, how she's known around the way. Because I know she worked hard for the opportunity. Really wanted to be on the big stage, and to go out like that, it was just very disheartening. With that being said, she was not winning the fight. Shanika Johnson just came with a game plan and she executed. She put a lot of pressure, showed variation, showed skill, showed power, physical strength, and I think that was the biggest thing. I think she was just physically able to impose her will throughout that fight, and it caused Chicken's base to not really be under her.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really feel like her legs were really under her, and I think that was because of the pressure that Shanika Johnson was pushing. So, sometimes you have those exchanges in the ring, and you meet up with somebody, and then you really understand how strong they are, or how powerful they are, or whatever it may be, and it sets that playing field kind of changes a little bit. So that's what I saw in the fight. The stoppage was just awful. It was one of the worst ones in recent memory.
Yeah.
Even though she wasn't winning the fight, but she's a champion and will always be a champion. And she deserved the opportunity to go out on her shield a little bit, and she didn't get that opportunity.
So, this was a late replacement?
Yes, the Dina Thorsland from Denmark or Sweden. She is with child.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that led me to believe that, okay, well, there's somebody who won't have a full count, and knowing as sharp as Chicken is, I just thought, okay, this sets up good for her. I did not know.
Yeah,
I was not aware. So yeah.
It was very disheartening showing, because Dallas was really excited for Chicken to bring it home, and just put it in perspective. She started boxing later in life. Also, didn't like on the telecast, they kept mentioning the single mom thing. I don't know, it's something that Chicken doesn't really publicize a whole lot, but it was almost making her out to be like a sob story type of thing, and I didn't like that part of the how they were depicting her. Yeah, how they were depicting her strategy. Yeah, because it's her first time being on this stage, and those things will be imprinted on people for a very long time. So, and also, I don't think any of us knew that this would be on a YouTube. This was the last fight on the YouTube undercard, or pre-Netflix showing.
Undisputed.
For Undisputed, that was very. I was not expecting that. I was actually trying to leave the gym as this fight is going on, so I had it on YouTube watching this fight.
Yeah.
So that was Dallas, Texas representative. Always a champ. But Shanika Johnson will earn victory. You got to tip your cap to her. So we'll be seeing what's coming from her. But the
Aussie. Well, moving on to one of the big surprises of the night. Some may call it an upset. Some may say, well, we knew who Shadeja is, and her pedigree from Paterson, New Jersey. We spoke superlatives of her last episode, praising how she has been, she's been in the game for a long time. And at 35, 36, she's getting her shine. I think she is 35. I don't want to put extra numbers on her, but we are talking about Shadeja Green versus Savannah Marshall. Savannah Marshall is a galactical when it comes to British boxing. She's one of the most decorated British female fighters of all time. She's one of the few fighters to have defeated our great Carissa Shields in the amateurs, that is. And in the pros, she gave her one of the most competitive fights that we have seen. A lot of people dodge her. She is a big middleweight girl. She's like about 6 foot tall or close to. She could be heavyweight if she wanted to. I don't know if she's weight bullying. That's another conversation another day, because I learned that word like three weeks ago. But going back to the lady of the moment, Shadeja Green. Yes, it was a split decision, but it was an amazing split decision, because even when the fight was happening, I'm like, what the heck am I watching? Heart, grit, determination. Fellas, take it on.
Okay, so this is all right. I'm always critical on Tyson Fury about his fighting style and his tactics and like non-boxing things that are in there. With all of the great stuff that they do, there's some Bush League stuff in there as well. Tricks of the trade, I guess. Okay, and I say this because she trains at that gym, okay, and there's so many similarities. The referee became a major part of this fight with the point deduction early on, and I'm like, okay, what do you want her to do? She's coming in, she's leaning on her, you know. The referee wants them to fight out, but I'm like, you got to do something, okay? It got to the point where obviously the strategy was when she leans on you, you're going to hook her underneath so she can't get anything off. All right, so the referee came in hard on that and eventually deducted a point early in the fight.
Terrible. And then didn't warn Savannah Marshall at all when she did the same thing rounds later.
So, man, following that, okay, now you don't want her to hook. So when she tries to slide off, because you don't want her to hook, so now she's trying to be slick. Okay, now you're warning her on that. It's like, all right, something got to give. And thankfully, you know, Andre Ward, we was here. Me and Andre was here for a lot of that night. So that let me know, okay, we got it right. Yeah. And then he finally, later in the later rounds, it finally came around to where Savannah was warned about her leaning. Okay, like, all right, so at least we being even here, all things considered. So unfortunately, that was a major part of the fight. But with that said, adjustments needed to be made, and adjustments were made, and that's really what I was most impressed taking this by. I knew Shadeja had power. I knew she was going to load up, and I thought that she was going to catch Savannah on a mean counter, but it kind of dictated that she needed to do more and do other things. So I think I seen a lot more from Shadeja Green than I knew she had.
And I really liked seeing the head movement, the counterpunching ability. And after the fight was over, I knew Shadeja Green won. The emotion from her and her team, it was moving, man. It just to see how much it meant to her, to something to bring you to your knees. Something to bring you to your knees and to shout, man, you can feel that she wanted it, and you felt that emotion, but you felt that in the fight too. You felt that she wanted it. It's a little bit more each time, and you really started to feel that grit, that grind come through. And then you, in the post-fight interview, you hear her talk about her coaches pushed her so hard, like she got beat up in camp so bad, but now she's a champion. So, man, loved it. We didn't pick her. I mean, I didn't pick her to even win, but was rooting for her. And I'm just happy that Shadeja Green got the straps.
I was scared. This had all the makings of a split draw.
Oh man, I know.
If you know the history,
because of the point deduction. The point deduction. That was lingering for the entire fight. It's like, okay, where's the bullshit coming? Like, because it was there, then okay, that leaves it open for the scorecards to have that funny business going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was waiting for that too. But salute to Paterson, New Jersey's finest, Shadeja Green. You deserve that moment, and even the speech, how it felt, and I mean the stage, the moment. You can't recreate that type of energy. So respect. Moving on to Ellie, if I'm saying that, Ellie Scottney versus Yamelith Machado. This was for the WBF, WBO, WBC junior featherweight title, and Ellie Scottney won this by unanimous decision. I didn't get to watch this particular fight, so I don't really have notes on this, but it was one of the earlier ones.
We're on Saturday.
Are we on Saturday right now?
It's Saturday, right?
I think this is the same card as the MVP. These are the ladies, and this was for
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading it.
Yes, this was for the. What did I say? Did I say featherweight? Yeah. So for those 3 belts in the junior featherweight. So I didn't watch it. I didn't catch it, but
I watched all of them. Was this? This may have been on the undercard.
This is the second one. This is on the YouTube card. So we had other belts exchanged on YouTube.
Yeah. That's what it was. Machado versus Ellie Scottney. So let's move over to Saturday. Let's go to Queens. Fellas, was I wrong? And I'm okay. I'm okay being wrong. Yes, I did talk about somebody being a plant. Somebody setting up for the big money fight. But geez, Louise, was I wrong? And I apologize to the gods of boxing. The people that know what they're saying when they say Turkey makes the fights that people want to see. And this one right here was a humbler. It was a humbling moment that I think a lot of boxing wanted to see or would have paid to see.
So let's revisit. Yeah, let's revisit it real fast because Clarissa also made it in attendance for this one. So we got beef on Friday. She just by being in the building with MVP, and so she made it to this one. And here, we get another Terror Squad appearance.
Man,
shout out Fat Joe and but also Remy Ma. And so you got Clarissa sitting adjacent Remy Ma, and so it can just go down to with her.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah, Edgar Berlanga, his rise to fame was catapulted by his surviving 12 rounds with Canelo Alvarez. He made a tour out of this statement. Actually, he's getting fights off that rep.
So
leading up to this fight, he had so many New York City's SMDs. I don't even want to say that on this show. To his opponent, saying that he's soft. He's saying he's from New York. That guy's from the UK. All sorts of stuff, you know how New Yorkers are. Everyone else outside New York is not tough. Boy, that 5th round was a humbler.
I got really strong opinions. So, Cam, do you want to go first?
First of all, like this matchup, I thought it was kind of out of left field. Like Sheeraz has a dud. It was a draw against Carlos Adames. Berlanga fights Canelo, then fights a guy.
Nobody.
It was so weird, like the promotion for that fight, and then the actual fight night. Hamza Sheeraz coming to America for the first time. And then like Surprise gets in the ring and they're standing next to each other and he looks like a giant next to Berlanga. And you could see that this it was not a good matchup for Berlanga. So I don't think he'll be talking about going 12 rounds with Canelo unless just to troll him to say that he couldn't knock him out. But that was a beatdown. No need for a rematch. King of New York,
Surgical
Nuevo Yo. No.
Surgical. It was a surgical beatdown.
Man,
there's a lot of politics all up and through there.
Yeah.
First of all, Turkey was doing what a good promoter does, and he put his guy in a position, and he gave him an opportunity.
Right.
Berlanga, Eddie Hearn punished Berlanga.
Yeah.
Not just here, but coming off of the Canelo, the last fight where he made him not even the main event, and then here you're being offered as a sacrificial lamb.
Yeah.
A known hitman.
So I'm not high. I wasn't high. Never been high on Berlanga. Okay. Even though I am a TS, I'm now I love TS, but Berlanga, I've never been sold on him. You did this. Even with that said, this was still underwhelming in my opinion. Underwhelming performance in my opinion. Like he didn't take it serious. Even ballooning up after rehydrating, bro. I don't know what you did. Like, did he treat himself to a steak after the weigh-in?
He looks kind of pudgy, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And even just his whole approach to the fight just seemed reckless to me. A lot of people are giving Sheeraz a lot of credit. And I just think it was just all recklessness on the part of Berlanga. I give a lot of fault to Berlanga.
Yeah.
And those are my strong opinions, just my eye test.
Mm-hmm.
This is a different fighter.
Yeah.
Sheeraz that fought Berlanga and the Sheeraz that fought Carlos Adames.
Different fighter.
I mean, I don't know if the moving up in weight just serves him better, but it was the outcome. I did not expect this outcome. And fellas, I honestly turned this fight off before the ring walks because wifey was tired of boxing at this point. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm not tripping. She turns her head and then she walks out and does something else. I'm like, well, I'm gonna turn it back. Second round's on, and I'm like, oh, this isn't gonna last long.
Yeah.
So wasn't even gonna watch the fight, to be honest.
Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised by the skill set of Hamza. One thing, I've never seen him fight. I didn't watch the last fight because I saw it and I was like, man, they're just setting. Because I was skeptical because I won't lie to you. Sometimes I'm easily convinced by the Twitter streets, the X streets of boxing kind of have agendas. So they put agendas out there, and I'm like, this agenda makes sense. But I bit on that agenda, and I kind of put a dismissive element to Sheeraz, looking at him like the golden calf or someone who's gonna make money, right? Because every promoter needs a golden, needs somebody who's gonna make money. We know the promoters that do that. But now that I saw him in person, very surgical. He does not waste punches. Dare I say this now, guys? This may sound crazy, who I'm going to compare him with, but not the legendariness of this person, but just the structure, being lanky, skinny, and not wasting a punch or being very surgical with his punches. He reminded me of Hitman. His structure build, the way he was punching him, just, close, tight hooks and working Berlanga. I don't know, how tall is he? 6'3"? Berlanga is
like a legit 6'3".
Yeah, so seldom did you see him use a jab. He was working just like Hitman Hearns. Like Am I wrong? I just was trying to keep it inside and not put that out there, but I was like, that's Hitman, or that's a Hitman earned style or body type, skinny, tall, and won't use that jab, but will work, will be surgical in breaking you down. And he broke that man down like a molecule. By the end of round 4, I kind of saw Berlanga, of course, yapping, and then round 5 happened, the 2 knockdowns, and I'm like, ref, he should have stopped it on the second one. And then Berlanga doing the whole clap thing with the gloves and just kind of, and I'm like, nah, he's cooked. He was broken down like a molecule, and respect to Hamza Sheeraz, I was wrong. You may be the real deal. So, even Turkey announcing a Canelo possible fight before he fights Terence Crawford was crazy. But Turkey really is investing not only financially, but I think emotionally into this fighter. So, hey,
no, everything worked to plan here.
Yeah,
everything worked to plan. This was a grand scheme. Everything worked to plan, and I'm not tricked. This is fool's gold. This is fool's gold. Listen.
You still. I was like that because of Twitter streets, but you've also convinced me another side to this. How Berlanga has been kind of giving it to the system. This is his punishment, and the same way, quote unquote, people are saying Norman Jr. is Devin Haney's punishment, the whole assassin or hitman stuff are just being played around on Twitter. Hilarious. You may go to something where promoters will pay you to get your behind kicked. They'll be like, oh, you feeling? Oh, okay, I'm gonna bring a guy, the boogeyman here, because I know you're gonna get paid, but your rep is gonna be horrible after this. We'll pay you, but you may never box again because you're gonna look horrible.
All Sheeraz did what he was supposed to do.
Came in, did a job, and went.
Nothing special, like, to me.
Hitman job. Kim did his job, and
that right there. Let me say this: he is incredibly sharp and incredibly powerful.
Yeah. But that right there, LT, that right there that happened to Berlanga is one of the reasons all money is not good money. Like, you think you're having a big, they marketed him ring 3 marquee guy, but that could be a setup for you to have a career ending, embarrassing, and you may never get on any marquee cards ever because you're out here cussing out officials and talking all sorts to promoters and telling them to go SMD. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Boy crashed out.
When I was a child, I behaved as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now people are saying that this might be a good time to revisit the Caleb Plant fight, since now they're both coming off of L's.
And there's genuine beef there.
I think Caleb may be too snobby to this. He may think it's not my level. He's not on my level to even take it.
Well, I don't think he's getting a title shot anytime soon.
Caleb?
Yes, and he's a professional fighter and he has to fight somebody. So what are you gonna do? That's a name that should be considered. But yeah, that should be considered. That's it. Damn. And there's already animosity there. So you're talking about a buildup of a fight that could do one of those.
You're right.
Caleb Plant can go home to Tennessee, right? Nashville or something.
And in between the buildup for a Canelo fight, Sheeraz is gonna have to fight somebody else.
Is Caleb gonna fight the Charlo brother anytime? Not gonna happen.
No, Hamza Sheeraz versus one of the versus Charlo.
No, this was the. He's gonna fight these types.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw the Adames fight.
He can fight a Plant. I mean, Sheeraz it's setting up for Sheeraz to be the last fight of the contract
Mm.
of the Canelo contract.
Hey, you're reading the play.
Oh, because that could be held in Saudi. Here we go.
All of the paper.
Same.
But hey, the
Same.
thing here, lesson of the night was, man, I love it. I love this. Kind of reminded me that Marcos Madonna versus AB. You know, there's sometimes when somebody gets beat and the whole world is like, I don't care, got beat. Like, and I like AB, but there was a time where he kind of became a villain. He was on his villain arc and he was still winning. That Marcos Madonna fight, is that trajectory of his career, it's never recovered after that. And I don't think, Berlanga, I hope you have a long career, my guy. I hope you humble yourself a little bit. But let's see if you recover from this. I never want fighters to lose their star power or their level to pull for big fights. Man, that was a dog walk. It was bad.
Yeah, man. There's no way that you show me what you showed me against Canelo, and then go out here and get caught slipping like that. It was just careless. That's just me. It was carelessness. It was recklessness. Everybody's a professional fighter. You don't take everybody seriously, and that's why I said what I said in our group chat. I said, man, that's what you get for going in there like that.
He was out here shirtless in New York.
Hey man, get that Canelo bag and that life get a little different.
Man, you see what Conor McGregor is doing after that flip with the bag? He's out here crazy.
Man,
I won't repeat what's going on Twitter with him. He's a wild boy.
I will give him credit. For trying to fight fire with fire, though. Going out on the shield. I'll give him credit for that.
Moving on to another co-headliner. We're talking about Shakur Stevens versus William Zepeda. This one right here, it lived to everything. Everything we talked about Kam Gee last episode was exactly what happened. Like to a T. I was like, damn, we were on point. We both predicted both fighters. We predicted first that Shakur's greatest strength is standing in the line of fire. Those people that say he runs, that's a lie. He's not a runner. He's just a good defensive fighter. He's not. He stands in the line of fire, and he knows how to do the matrix. But I was highly, from our texting, and sorry if I'm going first here. I was highly impressed and unimpressed with Zepeda's high level of pressing and activity, because it was everything but nothing, to say the least. That was his whole narrative. He did catch him good in the third round, but this man threw so many punches. Some missed, some got him, but they were not doing anything. And every time I saw Shakur let off a combination, it looked potent. It looked heavy. It looked like, oh, Shakur, and I mean, we've never talked bad about Shakur's skill. It's always about maybe his Twitter stuff, and maybe we've talked about he's a guy who'll kill you by 1,000 slaps. Like we made fun of his power. We have, but we've never ever said that this guy is not a level different from his current generation. And that day he did show that he is that guy in this generation, and we should not compare him with his peers like he's ahead of them skill wise. But I pass it on.
Shakur put on a great performance. Only thing I did not like about this performance was him being on the ropes for too long, in my opinion. Other than that, I felt like it was so comfortable. It was an easy fight. William Zepeda did not get tired. He threw punches and punches and punches, and Shakur deflected, dodged, sat in the pocket and countered and showed precision, showed skill, showed will. and that's what we expected. So, being able to be in the line of fire for 12 rounds and show skill each round, very impressive. Very impressive. And also to my fighters that's out there, that is William Zepeda is the example. If you are in tip-top shape, you will give yourself a chance, because there are a lot of fighters that would not have been able to withstand the pressure that he was bringing. So, I mean, shout out to both fighters. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised that the scorecards reflected that. We didn't get the randomness sometimes that we get on the scorecard. Appropriate, well done. Don't need a rematch. Line them up, because who's next?
Good question. I mean, I don't have much to say about it. It was a great showing, a great performance. Shakur coming out party, for real. Like, when it comes to levels of competition and building your career to a certain point, and then now we're seeing you against certain levels of competition. Now Shakur's finally able to put on full display what he's working with, and he was able to shut some people up. So, future opponents. There's one guy by the name of Lamont Roach who may be available.
Hey,
so
yeah, and also, like, I was watching that fight, and I'm like, how did Tevin Farmer knock down William Zepeda? Because he doesn't give you space. And I respect, because Shakur did exactly what we talked about, is don't hit him with the ones and twos, hit him, punch in between those. And he did that. He kept him busy, but still this dude was still not deterred from those punches and still exchanging with this guy. I've never seen, I mean, well, let me see. Maybe Miguel Cotto at one time had that type of motor where you just keep going and keep going and keep. The 12th round, I'm like, is this guy on drugs or PD? Like, I kind of like put in the text pillow hands, because he was tapping Shakur. He was catching him sometimes, and I'm like, all this activity, like, it's respect. I respect his cardio guy, whoever he's got, or his genetics, I don't know. But that boy was just going like in between punches, he was getting hit. He was still going. It was none of the punches kind of like, they looked like they shook him up, but he wasn't like going back and like, pivoting and trying to look for a different angle. No, he was still. I was really impressed by that, because you don't see that a lot by fighters with that level of cardiovascular, just going and going and going and going.
Yeah, it's really hard to put into words just exactly the mastery. It's just a different level. Shakur Stevenson is just a different level. So,
I mean, we talked about next. Number one contender right now is Andy Cruz, according to BoxingScene.com. The WBO belt is vacant, with Abdullah Mason being the number one contender. We got Tank in the WBA, and then we got that guy Raymond Muratalla, who was the IBF champ, and then we got that man Floyd Schofield, who on the WBC isn't even ranked. So that's interesting there. Also not ranked on the WBO, but he's the number one contender for the WBA belt that currently Tank holds, and he's a number 3 contender for the IBF. So just wanted to set the table a little bit.
We have some people in the live session. Feel free to join in the conversation. Put your thoughts in the comment area or the chat area. We'll pull them up and display them. The new people that are new to the channel, subscribe. Those that are watching this, like. Let's feed the algorithm. Again, as you guys mentioned those names, Shakur has to fight Kid Austin. It's only right. I mean, last time there was sickness here. There was Shakur doing surgery there. Hand surgery. They have to now clash, because what Kid Austin did to Tevin Farmer was it was amazing. And what Shakur has done these last 2 fights, he's been kind of, and that's the thing I kind of like, but I don't like. I think he's trying to prove the naysayers wrong. So he's changing his whole approach to how he fights, which is good.
Oh, he mentioned that. He said he was trying to prove a point.
Yeah. But
boxing fans, they listen. Boxing fans I'm sorry, Strap, to cut you off, but it doesn't necessarily mean that this is a great move to make, but it just shows that in the boxing world, the fans do matter.
They do matter. And he's been switching it to kind of make his fights a lot more entertaining. I mean, the 2 fights before this, his last fight before the last fight, where he was booed. It was pretty bad. He won, but he was booed, and he said, "Well, guys, you're blaming me." But the guy who I was trying to fight is running away. It wasn't me running away. And there were all these memes of Kam and all sorts of people on Twitter saying they're sleeping over a Shakur fight, like was falling asleep. And he brought up the ESPN numbers for most watched fight of the year. Anyways, I like that he's now moving from his villain arc to his hero arc, and people are starting to bury the hatchet. They're starting to appreciate his skill level. He's not a knockout artist. You're not going to get that from him. He has just a different skill set that is in the realm of boxing. So let's just deal with it. But again, like we said last time, the young fan in me when I was young, where I liked the Rock'em Sock'em, I think Kid Austin could bring that out of him, because Kid Austin, I've seen something about Kid Austin, and it's fight or flight with that guy. So I would like to see that fight happen. Going on, this fight here, let's talk about Subriel Matias versus Alberto Puello. This fight was fire, I have to say, and I didn't even expect that from a Matias. We already talked about Alberto Puello on this show. Were you guys familiar with Subriel? Or am I the only one that was like, who is this Puerto Rican? Is he Dominican?
Well, yeah, fought Valenzuela from Mexico. Wait, that's the fight that we did we cover that fight? Let me make sure I got the right fight.
I know the name, and I'm sure I've seen him, and as you can tell by my prediction, I knew this was going to be very close.
Yeah,
and splitting hairs. I just flipped the coin in the wrong direction. and on a weekend where decisions weren't,
there were some
boxing decisions fights.
Those beginning fights were tough. And this one right here, bro, I was like, okay, they're setting the tone for the later on fights.
Yeah.
Do you think you won by majority though? Was that decision called? Because I don't know, man. There were moments Alberto Puello had that he had moments in that fight, and I don't know if the judges counted those moments in their decision. I mean, they both had moments, but it was a tough fight, bro. I wouldn't want to be the judge in that fight.
I'm just gonna say, the reason I made my prediction is because the saying goes, you got to beat the champ to be the champ, and so I knew it was gonna be this close, and I just kind of went with that. But Kel,
I mean, I kind of saw that Puello would not win a decision, considering he was just supposed to be food for Gary Antoine Russell when he initially got the belt.
Yeah. So
it wasn't one of the hand-picked guys. He just had a lot of skill, a lot of savvy, and he was able to edge out. I think all of his victories his recent victories were close. I think split decision against Gary Antoine, split decision against a Sandor Martin.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come over here and you go to a majority decision. So
you can see his record. He's not a knockout guy. He doesn't get people out of here. A lot of them, it's going to go off the 12 rounds. And this was for the super lightweight title. I was impressed with both fighters. Like LT said, it's like fine combing hair. Like it's just how do you split hair? Like here, it was tough. It's tough to you don't lose with either fighter, but based on the decision for the day, it was a majority decision that went in the favor of Matthias, which would be well deserved if it went for me. For my viewing, it would if it were going either way or a draw. I still won that day. I thought it was just an explosive fight. Like they were nice. There were high level boxing was happening. So I was not my I was gonna say my pay-per-view was not in vain, but that's another story for another day. I don't pay for pay-per-view. So all right. Another one that kind of shook up boxing world. I'll go with the famous words of Kam Gee. Man, them Russians is tough.
Every time, man. Every time. You're not getting the easy out.
Yo, we had talked about David Morrell and his fight with Benavidez as one of the toughest ones that Benavidez has had yet. And we kind of I personally gained respect for him. I didn't really know about him as a Cuban fighter. And when I saw him mixing it up with David Benavidez, I was like, dude is kind of big. Like David Benavidez in his weight kind of towers over most of his opponents. He has that range over them, and he's a rangy fighter. But Morrell was big and muscular. It's weird that he could be that weight with how his body is built. Mm-hmm. Boy, Imam was a different type of big. Imam Katov, if I'm saying that right, that's what my commentator say. Katov. What do you think of it? I've never heard of this guy, and we talked about him last show. I did some research. I used AI to search his fights and his quotes from, and everyone was calling him a scary, scary, dangerous opponent. It was true.
It was true.
So
knocked him down too.
Yes.
In my scouting, I scouted it. I mean, obviously he's a big puncher, but I noticed in the fights that I seen, he swung wide and his hands were low. In the fights that I watched leading up to this, so I thought that Morrell would be able to get inside to get a knockout, and that's why I predicted it the way that I did. But also, I knew that there was a good chance. I wasn't surprised when he went down either.
Man, he was playing with him. The David Morrell, I think, could have stopped Imam. He was hurt at different times. They both hurt each other.
Yeah.
David Morrell actually was knocked down, basically fell asleep, and was playing with his food. You know, he's dancing. He's trying to tap gloves at the end of each round. I mean, man, this was a gift of a decision because I really think Imam edged out a victory. Mm-hmm. And LT said you watching the fight before, hands down and wild punches. And what does he do? He has hands down. He has wild punches. He also had issues getting into the country because his visa got in town on Thursday.
Wow.
So that's another uphill battle to get to fight night. They actually had a opponent on standby, a backup opponent on standby for David Morrell. So he came in. I didn't like David Morrell's energy. I really liked the performance against David Benavidez. But as you know, in boxing, you're only as good as your last performance. He took a lot of time off during his fight to dance and cater to the crowd. And bro, we just want to see you box and defeat the guy you're supposed to beat. Because Imam really won that fight. So I enjoyed watching the fight, but as a David Morrell fan, those are some of the things that I was thinking about. And yes, those Russians, they tough, man.
Them Russians tough.
Them Russians tough.
I had to let you talk greasy one time today.
Yeah.
All right.
I wasn't too surprised, and we were like having text communication with the group chat about this. I still, even with the knockdown, from how the energy levels of both fighters, like you said it. David looked like this guy just was picked last minute or whatever, or something. He just he didn't respect the moment. While Imam looked like, yeah, this is his shine time. Although in the later rounds, David kind of woke up and he showed levels. He showed that this is why I belong. And I mean, it's a tale of two of it's a fight of two what's the word here, of two stories, I guess. But either or, I'm okay with David winning this one. I mean, it could have gone either way, but I'm okay with David winning this one, because he's the known fighter. I'm assuming, to the boxing world, and they gave him the benefit of the doubt. And like Kam or somebody said, that was a gift in the chat. They gifted him that. Yeah, sometimes the bigger name gets the gift. It works like that, especially when people are like, who got it? Like, well, I know dude, and he fought Benavidez, and sometimes your name can win you a fight. And it's sad to say, even if Imam would have been the person to walk away as the victor that day. That was it for Saturday. We're gonna run into some quick UFC recapping. This guy.
This is the benefit of having fight cards end early.
Yeah. Yep. Houston's very own Derek Williams, the heavyweight record holder of knockouts in the UFC, and also an interesting personality, to say the least, in the UFC world. He did deliver a stunning knockout to Stevenson Texera, and it was with a left hand perfection, and just caught him really good, and then a few punches to the ground, and ended the fight. Proceeded on to doing his lap of honor, took his pants off, went and did the dog pee in front of Texera.
The fire hydrant, Jill.
The fire hydrant.
Yeah, like
Texera's coaching team, and then he kind of, and then what iced the whole moment up was when they asked him, who do you want to fight next? He's like, man, I've not been home in 2 weeks. The person I want to see next is my wife. And I was like, salute. He knows how to seize the moment. Right now he has let me see, what knockout was that?
He said it's been 2 weeks.
Been 2 weeks. He wants to go home,
weeks.
some ground and pound. He said.
But what makes it so much special is he got caught coming out.
Yeah.
He got clipped coming out.
Yep.
So he had to retaliate. And that he did.
Yep. I mean, this guy's been in the UFC for a long time. It's always good to see guys that have just been fighting and are consistent. And if this guy was still with the company, I would want to see an Ngannou, Derek Williams too. I know they fought in the beginning, and then Derek Williams beat Francis Ngannou when Francis was still coming up in the UFC. But I would want to see two guys that throw them things go against each other, man. But salute to Houston's very own Derek Williams.
There's some big names. There's some big names being thrown around for his next fight.
Oh,
nothing official yet. And that's the thing about this guy. Every time he say he needs some rest, every time he say he's tired, Dana White come back and just have him fighting the next month. So
right.
Money look good.
He is an active fighter for a guy his age. He fights quite a bit.
Is that a negotiating tactic? You say, "Hey man, I'm tired," and then, "Oh, Dana White, here's a bag of money."
I think the UFC is easier than boxing. Okay, maybe I think UFC is. If you're a heavyweight, them dudes they don't have to cut weight. They don't have to do nothing. You could just roll over and go make a fight. Even if, most fighters
it's the virality. It's the virality. It is the marketing of Dana White in the UFC. Derek Lewis just went viral again. Title shot.
Wow.
Put him out there, coach.
Title shot.
Remember his first viral moment? He was talking about Donald Trump and Putin. Here we go again. Look, deja vu.
Yep. Yeah, he does. He has a lot of viral moments.
Matter of fact, let's hold on. Get this man a break and put him on the White House ticket.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
If you want a break, give him a break, and let's put him on the White House card, Dana.
Is he one of the guys like when he was? He has so many moments. I was gonna go into my Rolodex of moments that he had where I was like, nah, that's not it. But it went viral. He was like, you know how Rogan runs to you after you knock out somebody, like, hey, Derek Lewis, what you? He's like, I need to go shit. Remember that moment? I'm like, dog, no, that's not it. But people find that stuff funny. Like, I'm like, and the thing is, I don't think he tries to be funny. I just think he's just a big goofy guy.
You gotta try.
Really goofy guy.
Like, that works.
Shaq. Moving on, we have Gabriel Bonfim versus Stephen Thompson. His name is Wonder Boy. He's known for his karate. I mean, also that's another UFC veteran. Nature Boy lost that fight by split decision to Bonfim. We have Steve Garcia versus Kelvin Kata. Kelvin won by unanimous decision with that one. We have Morgan. Oh, the French accents. Oh, I have to let me pull this here. We have Morgan Sherry. I can't say that right. Forgive me. Versus Nate Landwehr, and Morgan won that by a dramatic third round knockout. What else do we have here? I think that's pretty much it. Now we could go into what will be coming up here soon. And I'm talking about the 19th. Man,
bonus.
Amazing 2 weeks of boxing. We have Ukraine versus the UK. That's a lineup right there. So we have, okay, let's talk about it. Will somebody please consistently work the body of Usyk? We've seen his soft spot. The boy can't take a body punch. His chin can take punches. That body cannot take hits. Fury exposed it. Dubois exposed it. Do you think Usyk will continue his reign as an undefeated fighter post July 19th? Fellas.
Ooh, this one is tough because Dane Dubois has looked a bit different each fight since that fight, and I was one of the people that believed that it was a legal body shot, and he's been hurt to the body before, as you mentioned, dating back throughout his career. I just don't see the foot speed, the punch variation from Dubois, but I'm expecting a great fight. I think this will be better than their first fight.
I agree.
I'm not handing down my prediction yet, but I'm predicting a great fight. How about that?
LT.
This is a tricky part of a fighter's career where upsets happen.
It's true.
I don't see it, but this is a good card. This is a heavyweight laden card, and the one fight that isn't heavyweight is light heavyweight. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My thoughts here are, I've seen a lot of the heavyweights and cruiserweights that fought Usyk always adjusted to a boxing style. which you cannot outbox this guy. Yes, we saw Usyk, Anthony, Joshua, the first one. Usyk was just faster than this muscle built guy who was just fighting his style. And then Joshua tried to box with Usyk. I think he did better, but he looked worse. The people that have had success with Usyk, the Chisoros of the world, who gave Usyk was kind of running. Fury, the first one or the second one with Fury, I can't remember, where he knocked down Usyk and Usyk knocked him down. Remember? There was an exchange there. We're not boxing, we're not dancing around. And Daniel DeBoer that was working the body to the head and then caught him with the body, and Usyk took the knee, which was supposed to be counted as a knockdown or not an illegal punch. So I think if Dubois, which I don't think Dubois is built like this, and I like that, Dubois is not going to box with you. And that is going to be a dangerous, dangerous fight for Usyk, because Usyk struggles with brute strength, people that force and cut the ring off. But again, I've seen Usyk knock people like that out too, because they were just on the front foot too hard. He hit Joshua the first fight with some bing, 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 bing. He was just too fast. Joshua was just missing him. And as I remember, guys, did he knock down Joshua in the first fight, or he had him stunned and shook because he was just touching him so much? Joshua could not do anything. That's why he had that radical readjustment in the second fight, where he was now boxing and keeping range and doing all sorts of weird stuff that is not his style. So I really think, there's a time when they'll get you. You can't be undefeated forever. And there's something that tells me that Dubois kid, he's been on a redemption.
Been on a tear.
A redemption form. That he may be the one to sit Usyk down. And that's my radical take right there. Or my exaggerated take.
There's an imminent threat.
Oh yeah. Dubois is he's a machine. Yes, he does have his weaknesses, but people don't exploit them because he just beats you up.
Man, fight's gonna be good. Fight's gonna be great. I got Usyk.
Oh, you got Usyk.
Yeah, I was holding on to it. I was just,
How about Okoli, who's making his third or second fight in the heavyweight? See, I think some of these cruiserweights that walk around as heavyweights that fight in cruiserweight, like Usyk, Okoli, they're using this as a cheat code to kind of like flood. And also, why are they running away from the cruiserweight? They want none of that? What's his name from New Zealand action?
It's
weird that
they don't want it with the Opataya.
They don't want Opataya beef. Don't want none of that. That's
just
small.
Heavyweight's just sexier. I think that's all it is to it. Is for whatever reason, marketing standpoint, like cruiserweight is right there, but it's not darling or
it's not heavyweight.
Box office. It ain't box office.
Yeah, it's not the lighter weight classes where you're getting the flashy combinations, and in the heavyweights it's a whole different experience watching heavyweights box. I think for any human being that is an observer of sports could see that up close, you would have it's a totally different sport than the guys fighting in 147.
Thanks.
It's different. So that heavyweight level is it stands alone in the boxing world. So yeah, jumping to heavyweight, hey, that's where the big bucks sit. The big bucks are the big venues.
Yeah.
Man,
what's
the
that?
Possibilities are crazy as far as what you can earn.
What's that? Cat Williams joke? Chrysler 300 next to a Phantom.
Yeah,
like that. Yeah, that's cruiserweight is the Chrysler 300 because cruiserweights are big. They're big dudes, but they're not heavyweights.
So we predicting this one officially. We got to. Let's do it.
Because this is Saturday.
let's do these two. Let's do these two main events.
I'm with that.
Let's do that.
Yeah, I'll take Usyk unanimous decision.
Okay.
Is that what was yours, Cam?
Yeah, mine would be the same. Unanimous 12 round. Not seeing a stoppage, but a great fight nonetheless.
I say that I would say Triple D 7th round knockout. Or TKO, one of the two. It's going to be a stoppage in the 7th.
Dare to be great.
Man, you know, looking at our cards, I guess I can. Are we still on this one?
Yep.
I mean, like I said, I'll just predict the
main ones for the next one. So
yeah, okay.
We'll go to Prime. We have Pacquiao. But I've been seeing. Have you seen his training videos?
I want to see the media day workout.
Man, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. I've been seeing the training videos, and he has like 20 people training with him, doing the same workouts with him. Like he has a whole bunch of random Filipinos. I hope he doesn't have a bunch of yes man. That would be the worst. Anyways,
we could.
Barrios
these are all really close ones too.
I'm uncomfortable about this fight.
Me too. Like I'm like,
do we want to? We could really do this whole card.
Yeah, go for it.
Because I already did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Pacquiao, Barrios, what you got?
I'm going.
yeah.
Okay.
Cam's favorite boxer, by the way, in case y'all didn't know.
I got Barrios by stoppage. Stops the legend in round 8. I mean, I just can't see a 46-year-old man coming in there and doing anything of no. I've got
how old is Pacquiao?
46.
Close to 50, I know.
46, 47. You got Fundora versus Tim Tszyu. I got Fundora by unanimous decision. Is that one of the Russell brothers?
Facts.
Oh man, I think as
Which
far as
brother, the junior or the one? Which one? Which Antoine?
This is Gary Anton.
Oh, the older one.
See, as far as my capabilities on predicting these fights, I gotta pass because
we can we can do those two. We can do those two.
Okay. So yeah, I got Barrios by round 8 stoppage, and I got Fundora by unanimous decision. I think Tim Tszyu is going to come out guns a-blazing, try to be inside, and I think Fundora, as you become a champion, you come hardened by the success, and you want to hold on to it, and he's proven to be a worthy champion, and he's Tim Tszyu is going to have to come get it, and it's a tall task, pun intended.
All right. I do have I have Barrios stopping him. I hate saying this, man.
Yeah, no.
Like knowing Pacquiao and how he fights, stopping style where he's just always just active. I'll give him 5 rounds. The 5th round is gonna be stopped. I don't see a young lion unless he's gonna respect the legend and let him have all 12 rounds. And I have a 5th round stoppage for Barrios.
Man, I
hate saying it. I don't want to watch it like that. Barrios is a dangerous person. Pandora, I'll give him. What's Tim Zoo's last fight? I know he got blitzed, got beat really bad last fight.
Fought back
Joey-
home.
Was it Joey Spencer? Or no, that was his training.
We covered it though, but he fought back in Australia, if I can remember correctly.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm confusing him with Kambosis. Sorry. Yeah, he fought in Australia. He fought another Australian. Was it Brandon something? Oh, I can't remember.
His name escapes me.
I give that fight to Fandora.
Joseph Spencer.
Yes, Joseph Spencer. I give a UD to Fandora. I can't see a stoppage on Tim Tszyu. And then how about you, LT?
All right, so I'm going Barrios split decision. I think Pacquiao comes out and shows early signs of life. And then as the fight goes on, becomes significantly less active. But I think it's a situation where Barrios will have to come back in the mid to later rounds of the fight. So I think youth ultimately prevails.
Yeah,
split decision. Pacquiao may even get him down early. A la Keith Thurman.
He just
bright lights.
He got that puncher's chance.
Bright lights, big moment, big stage, the aura of a legend. And I think that Barrios just ultimately adapts to the situation, settles in, and perseveres through it. Split decision. I will be the only one to take Zoo.
Okay.
Split decision.
When you say split decision, you mean but he was cut with an elbow or headbutt? What decision? It was stopped by what? Because he was split.
So
that was a good one.
No recency bias because he was in that fight up until that moment.
Yeah, he was.
And just Fondora's style lends him to be touched on the inside, and it just styles make fights, and it's a good recipe. So unless there's there is that factor where the elbow could get you again, or when you're in close quarters and there's scar tissue, be it as it may, but I mean that's a freak occurrence, and so I'm just gonna go Zoo split decision.
Split decision.
Specifically, but wins by decision. So
all right. Just moving on here. This is background. I mean, this backyard. Sorry, I say background. Backyard over there in is this where you from? Fresno?
It's about 25 minutes from where I am. Yeah. I'm in Dallas.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think this will be an easy one to pick though. I got Bam by stoppage. He already has another fight on his box rec for the Riyadh season. And then Pacheco is going to stop McCombie. He gave us a very exciting fight with a Caleb Plant. But Pacheco will stop Trevor McCombie early on. I'm thinking maybe 4th round. So both of these fights end in early stoppages, no later than the 5th round.
So you said Bam, what round is he stopping?
Round 5. And I got round 4 for Pacheco McCombie. So those fans is buying these $200 and something tickets gonna want some 12-round fights. I don't think they're gonna get it. Because it's gonna be a quick night. You got a guy Nashawn Dev. She's gonna put them away early. You know, it's gonna be some early nights for some of these guys.
Again, say that Pacheco. What round do you have him stopping again?
Round 4.
So we have 4 for Bam, 5 for Bam, 4 for Pacheco. Wow, clean. Kami was tough. Kami was a tough.
Diego Pacheco is different, man.
Are we gonna talk? We're not gonna predict the rest. I do not know who they are.
Nah.
Oh, Murray Jones. I've seen that name.
Shout out to Murray Jones. This is gonna be his first fight outside of Orlando.
Yep. We've seen Murray Jones.
You got the box rec up. Is this like fight number 3 or fight number 4?
I think it was we covered his first fight. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
I could be his. Let me.
It's either fight 3 or 4, unless he's been sneaking them in. But the zone has like a new residency there in Orlando. Olympic bronze medalist. So
3, fight 3. Yep.
There we go.
Yeah. So I know.
Shout out to him. Shout out to Nishant Dev and Coach Ronald Ellis, who's been over there. India found him one. Yep. If I got to predict, I'm gonna go Price is Right style and say Bam in 3. And there you go. Pacheco in 6.
Oh, stoppages.
Yeah, he's stop right there.
I would say Bam Rodriguez in 4. And Pacheco will dog walk Macumbi. I'll have him finish in 5. I won't see this going the distance or anything. It's a stoppage, so I'm just gambling on which round. It's going to be a stoppage.
So I look, we got a little extra right here. We're going to throw this in. We don't always get to do this, but I seen the names on this, and I just had to throw it on there.
Oh,
you got Poirier and Holloway going at it.
Wow.
Kevin Holland, the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, he's active.
Dan Ige and Patricio Pitbull.
Yep.
So
Max Holloway versus Justin Poirier. That is going to be fireworks. Because none of them dudes, Poirier could grapple. They like to bang. And Costa, I'm assuming that's Paulo Costa versus Kopelev. Costa's not been as active, but he's dangerous. Very, very strong. And then Kevin Holland versus Rodriguez. It's a stacked card. One thing I feel more comfortable giving my predictions with boxing. UFC's wild.
Exactly.
It's wild. You never know.
But shout out to UFC and the way they maintain legendary status of their fighters. Even after taking defeat,
you still get fights. Yeah.
When you can put together a resume where you have losses in the teens and still be relevant and still show up to get a check, and I just appreciate seeing your name. Yeah.
And you said something very important right there, LT. And I think boxers that watch this show should take something from the UFC in that you will always have fans if you give it your all. Because fans may not be as savvy as the guys in the gym, but they can see effort. They can see through that. They can see when you're really, and like the UFC does a good job rewarding people that gave us good fights. They can win or lose. But you gave us a good fight, you won some fans, and at the end of the day, the bottom line is you bring butts to the seat. There are people that lose but still have fans. Like they bring people to watch them. And you could be undefeated, but who's watching you? A tree falls in the forest one time, but we don't know. It's the same thing as all these guys wanting to protect their O, but never they're never going into high risk situations to give the fans a little bit of what they want. And going back to also what Cam was saying about Shakur did mention that he was pushed by the fans to showcase what he showcased, and he shouldn't look at it like, man, you guys are forcing me to get. No, fans just want to. Maybe it's also his curse. He makes the game look too easy, but fans just want to see effort. And I mean, I've been fans. I think we were all fans with the Eubank corner Ben fight. I don't care who lost that day. I'm gonna watch both of them guys onwards because I know the effort that they put in. So
another Eubank and Connor Ben, another potential opponent for Shakur, as they sat down with Ariel.
Ooh,
that was fiery, but we know how that would end. But hey, we love a good promo. We love some drama.
That corner Ben boy is a dog.
Yeah, he know how to talk, man. He can talk himself into a fight.
Yeah, he's feisty. He's a feisty character. That little guy. He's a pit bull. He'd be serious. Like I've seen him shake Ryan. Ryan was in the London. Ryan Garcia. You saw that when Ryan was at the Boxing Hall of Fame thing in London, and he was all wearing a suit and whatever. And then he shook Ben's hand, and he's like, "Oh, you're not strong, or I can feel your bone density, or whatever." And he's like, then corner Ben just said, "Remember, you're in my hood. You're in my city. Like, don't act like this," and all that stuff. And he was kind of like sunning Ryan. And I'm like, this guy, is it rage? I know he was caught with the PEDs. Why is he angry like this? Why is going to bed angry? Just he don't play. He really don't play. But yeah, if Devin Haney wants any of that, I don't know. No. But fellas, we have to conclude this. We are at an hour 47. Slow walking it to an hour 50. And the people that are watching, 2 of you guys I see in the live. Thank you for watching us live.
Sticking it out with us.
Staying there. I mean, we didn't get as much interaction as we expected to want to get, but still you stuck in there and you watched us go through our motions of reviewing to what's going to be happening here soon. As we usually say, it's been a great episode of Who's Fighting, episode 63. Kam Gee LT, who is fighting?
Who fighting?